Good morning, everyone. It's actually really wonderful to listen to the buzz of conversation just before our gathering begins. It's really a pleasure seeing friends meet or meeting new people and gathering and chatting. It's a beautiful sound. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to SSUC. My name is Joanne Van Beek, and I'm helping with the service today, along with many others. But we always begin our gathering with such a beautiful welcome that Chris does. And even though we repeat it each week, it's so important, and it's always so beautiful. And so I say to you this morning, welcome to SSUC, where we journey together as spiritual seekers, united in community. Welcome to those of you who are here for the very first time, or for the first time in a long time. Whether you're here online by live stream, or if you're here on a regular basis in this circle, welcome. Welcome to this place of spiritual exploration. Welcome to a community of diversity and acceptance, where we're all welcome. All ages, all sizes, all colors, all cultures, all abilities, all sexualities, all gender expressions, all learning styles and neurotypes, all religions or none. In other words, all people. Welcome to this time when we're invited to open ourselves to compassion and deep wisdom, knowing that we're each unique, we're each important, we're each valued, as we're all striving to live more deeply and to make a difference in the world. Today, Chris is away on a study leave, and so we have many people helping today. So besides myself, I'm very grateful to Deb on the piano, and I've forgotten your first name. 10, right, on the violin, to our song leaders and our readers, Blair and Marilyn. To Andrea, Sam in the back there on the tech team, and they've really had to work this morning. And to our kids' spirit leaders, Daisy and Ariane. To our greeters who have greeted you at the door, to people serving coffee. So many people have helped to put this morning together. And if I haven't mentioned you, please accept my thanks anyway, because you know who you are. And you so graciously have helped to put this morning together. We're going to spend our time together this morning exploring various readings and singing on the topic of hope. And throughout the service, as a transition after some of the readings, someone is going to ring out this Tibetan singing bowl. They're just going to ring it once, and it's going to be a way for us to just pause. It will ring out for maybe 10 seconds. So in that 10 seconds, you just pause, maybe close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, and we'll just let it ring out. And when it rings out, now I realize we all have different hearing abilities, so it'll be probably when Deb stops hearing it, and she'll begin our next song. So let's begin this morning by singing A New Day is Dawning, because of course, every new day brings with it great hope.
There's a new day is dawning. There's a new way to see. There's a new time arriving, and it's born from our striving for this new way, a new way to be. There's a new day is dawning. There's a new way to see. There's a new time arriving, and it's born from our striving for this new way, a new way to be.
Each week here at SSUC, we gather. And at the beginning of our time together, we take time to acknowledge the place and the space that we're in. And we do this each week because it's important. It's always important to be reminded of our relationship to this land and our relationship to its ancestral people. So not only are we here at SSUC today, spiritual seekers united in community at Southminster Steinhauer United Church, here in Edmonton and in Saskatoon, but we are also honored to be on Treaty 6 territory land. We are situated on the ancestral lands of the Cree people, and here in the southwest corner of Edmonton, we are on the ancestral lands of the Papa Chase First Nation. We are also here in central Alberta, the land of our Métis brothers and sisters, and we are here in the place where many of our own ancestors chose to settle, or where we ourselves have made a home. And for all of this, we are very grateful. In this land acknowledgement, we honor all that has come before us, while at the same time committing ourselves to live in relationship with this land and its people, and to work daily toward an attitude of reconciliation and partnership. May our words and our songs today genuinely symbolize our hope, our actions, and our intentions to live out these commitments. And may we persevere in the hope of continued reconciliation and harmony with all of our Treaty 6 relations and this beautiful land that we call home. The community candle we light each week symbolizes, first of all, it symbolizes the light of the sacred light that we have within us. But today it also symbolizes a sacred hope which resides deep within us. May today we be filled with a deep awareness of the mystery of that hope, that despite all the evidence to the contrary, is forever hopeful of better ways and better days. Whether you are here in this room or joining us through a screen, may that deep hope remind us that we are not alone on our journey to be light and hope in this world. We are here together. We are together reflecting the hope of the sacred, as well as seeking new ways to live out that hope. So in lighting this candle this morning, we celebrate not only our sacred light, but also our sacred hope. May our time together prepare us to persevere in hope, for hope is the light that our world needs.
Let there be light, let there be understanding, let all the nations gather, let them be face to face. Speak and be heard, listen for understanding, open the door to wisdom, justice sought as one. Let there be light, ending all angry judgment, face the fight for gain.
Guess what? It's time for all ages. So come on, whether you're young or old, but if you can get down on this carpet, come on down. Hi, I love it when the carpet gets full. It's fantastic. Of course, we're going to wait for you. Yeah, come on in. Have a seat. Have a seat. Today, children, I have a book to read, and it's called If You Want to See a Whale. Anybody seen a whale? You've seen a whale? Okay. In video games, in books, on the TV, right? Otherwise, they're kind of hard to see. I once went whale looking, whale watching, I guess you call it, on a boat. I had to be so patient. And I think that's what this story is going to be a little bit about. This boy wants to see a whale. It's written, the words are written by Julia Glani, and the pictures are by Aaron Stead. Okay, here we go. And you can probably see the pictures better up there as I read them. Okay, we have a little boy, and he's looking out the window. See him there on the screen? Hey? So, if you want to see a whale, first of all, you're going to need a window. Okay? That'll be the first thing. The second thing you're going to need is an ocean. They don't live here in Alberta, do they? In our lakes and our rivers. So you'll have to go find an ocean. And you're going to need lots of time for waiting and time for looking. Yeah. Oh, that dog looks like your dog. Okay, well, that dog is also looking for a whale. And as you're watching things in the ocean, you're going to be wondering, oh, is that a whale? Is that a whale? That's exactly, when I went whale watching, that's exactly, oh, is that a whale? Is that a whale? That guy is thinking about a whale, isn't he? And time for realizing what you see maybe, no, that's not a whale. It's a bird. There's a bird on the dog's head, hey? It's not a whale. So, if you want to see a whale, you will need a not-so-comfy chair, because you don't want to fall asleep, and a not-so-cozy blanket, because sleeping eyes can't watch for whales, and whales won't wait for watching. You always have to be ready. So, if you want to see a whale, you're just going to have to ignore the roses, and all their pink, and all their sweet, and all their wild, and their waving, because roses don't want you watching whales, or waiting for, or wondering about things that are not pink, and things that are not sweet, and things that are not roses. So you have to think, I'm not going to watch the roses, I'm going to keep my eyes on the ocean. If you want to see a whale, don't look way out there and over there to the ship that is sailing with the flag that is flapping, right? It's a distraction. That's a distraction. I remember feeling that way on that boat when we were trying to watch for whales. I was more interested in watching the people. But no, I had to keep my eyes on the ocean and the horizon to see if I was going to see a whale. So don't get distracted. Because possible pirates, they're not going to help you when you're waiting for a whale. So don't get distracted by that other boat. If you want to see a whale, there's no guess what? They aren't the whales, and you're watching for a whale. Yeah, that's because I'm not in control of the PowerPoint, thank goodness. But Andrea's doing an amazing job, and now we're on exactly the right page. That boy is looking and looking. If you want to see a whale, be careful not to notice something inching, small and green across the leaf. Ooh, just nibble, because things that are smaller than most small things can't be as giant as a whale. So don't get distracted by the small stuff, because a whale is pretty big. Another thing, if you want to see a whale, you shouldn't be watching the clouds. Some floating by, some hanging down in a sky that's spread out side to side, or the certain sun that's shining, because if you start to look straight up, you won't see the whale. Even if you think the clouds look like whales, they're not real. If you want to see a whale, keep both eyes on the sea. You gotta keep looking at the ocean, right? Keep your eyes. And then you gotta wait. And you wait. Okay? You see the boy in the boat? Him and his dog in the yellow boat? And they're waiting. And they're waiting. And they're waiting. And they're waiting. Where's the whale? That's right, there's the whale. But you know what? I don't think they can see it. But it's there. And then the next page. What happens? The whale pokes his head up and says, hello. They were excellent at waiting and waiting, patiently keeping their eyes on the ocean. Okay? And that's sort of what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk about hope. And hope is always something in the future. We sometimes have to wait a long time for hope. And then all of a sudden it shows its head. And it's very, very exciting. Okay? So that's our story for today. And you now are welcome to go off with Daisy and Ariana to Kids Spirit. Right? Have fun. We'll see you later.
One more step along the world I go, one more step along the world I go, for the old things to the new. I'll keep traveling in spirit true, and it's from the old I travel to the new. I'll keep traveling in spirit true. Round the corner of the world I turn, more and more about the world I learn. All the new things that I see, I'll be sharing with the family. And it's from the old I travel to the new. I'll keep traveling in spirit true. I'll need courage when the world is rough. I need love when through the world is tough. Weep and sing in all we do. I'll keep traveling in spirit true. And it's from the old I travel to the new. I'll keep traveling in spirit true.
And he said, you better blow that candle out because you're going to burn up your blazer. So, a piece of wisdom. He's always on the lookout for me. Today, before we go further, we have some wonderful invitations for you concerning the life of SSUC. The first one is our second Sunday brunch. Okay, let me see if I can pull it up here. The second Sunday brunch is April 14th. It's going to be centered around our global responses to AIDS, and it's going to be hosted by, it's centered around the global responses to AIDS by the gang member, and those are the grandmothers of Alberta for a new generation. Okay, it's going to be a potluck event, so if you are able to come and stay for the gang's video, please bring a dish to share with about 4 people or so, and you can just drop the food off in the kitchen on the 14th. And so that sounds wonderful. That's on the 14th. The next event is our newcomers lunch on Sunday, April 28th. That follows the gathering. So whether you're brand new or you still feel like new, it doesn't matter. Please come. And I think some invitations have been sent out, but if you have been missed, please sign up in the foyer, okay, for that. And that's on April 28th. As well, we here at SSUC want to first of all thank you for your generous ways that this community supports this community. As you can see on the slide, there's all sorts of ways to do that, through donations, through e-transfers, through checks, through purchasing grocery cards, through coming to events. There's all sorts of ways, but in advance, thank you for your support. As well, I believe Gail, I haven't seen Gail yet today. There she is. She's coming forward and giving us an update on the Mission and Service Fund.
Thanks, Joanne. The Mission and Service Fund is the United Church's way of giving outreach to the world. That outreach covers many different types of support in many different countries. The United Church is part of the ACT Alliance, an alliance of more than 140 churches who work together around the world in more than 120 countries. The United Church also works with a variety of other organizations, including the Mideast Council of Churches. Globally, projects are very diverse. As examples, there is support for language education in Ukraine. There is help for grandmothers in Africa, such as the gang supports. Across Canada, there are many different ways, including the protection of Indigenous languages and support for those learning languages, such as with the Haida on the West Coast. There are also support for refugees, both from war areas and from countries where they might be persecuted because of their gender identity. An agroecology project in El Salvador, in cooperation with the Manitoba Council for International Cooperation, helps subsistence farmers to protect biodiversity, to maintain the integrity of the land, and to uphold the rural Indigenous culture. Across Canada, projects are also diverse. Instruction in the languages, as I said, food for far remote, or food aid for far remote northern communities where the price of food is almost prohibitive, support for the refugees, camping programs, and right across the country, the United Church is involved in local outreach. So I would like to share a story from our own Bissell Center that appears on the Mission and Service website, a letter of thanks from one of its clients. John, who is of Indigenous heritage, is an artist, but was struggling with homelessness. At Bissell, workers helped him transition to a much better way of life. He has since been named Bissell's Artist in Residence, where he leads workshops each week to help other clients of the agency find their own ways into a better life. For all of us, it's important that we share some of what we have so that these projects can continue in areas around the world where people are not nearly so fortunate. Givings to mission and service can be designated through offerings here within the congregation, or they can be made directly to Toronto. Just Google United Church of Canada Mission and Service, and you will find different ways of, you may donate online, you can phone with a credit card, or you can mail a check. The address is there. And speaking of Bissell, I'd like to, for a moment, just diverge a bit. Bissell has evolved from the All Peoples Mission, which was established early in the 1900s by the Methodist Church of Canada. Methodist Church is one of the founding groups of the United Church of Canada. There were Methodist, Presbyterians, and Congregationalists. And next year is the 100th anniversary of the United Church, which was actually formed by an act of Parliament. As many of you know, I've volunteered for a long time with the United Church records at the Provincial Archives. And this week we received an email from Toronto, from the National Church, which will be producing a monthly newsletter, a themed newsletter, in the year leading up to the major celebration in June of 2025. The first issue is going to focus on, and I'm going to read these because I'll never remember them all, 2S LGBTQIA+. And what Toronto is looking for is information and photos on congregational involvement. So I've sent them a pretty good story of us. I think this group has been leaders across the province in that. And I know when the vote was taken in 1988 by the church to give full membership to anyone, including gender diverse people, our own Claire Woodbury was one of the people who voted for that. Anyway, they're looking for information and photos, so I've told them they can send me questions if they need to, and I may have to reach out to some of you for more information myself. And if any of you have the odd picture, we don't need a lot of pictures, that you could loan me and we could scan them at the archives and send them down east, that would be great. So, thank you.
Thanks, Gail. It's always encouraging when she shares what's going on in the broader world. And I believe Ruth has something to share.
I want to let everyone know that next Saturday, that is this coming Saturday, in 6 days, there will be an event here in the afternoon. It will be a storytelling event that is many of you came to the World Storytelling event last year that Dean and I participated in. This year, Storytelling Alberta is bringing in Pearl Ann Gooding to Edmonton, and she is an incredibly well-known storyteller. I personally got to hear a lot of the stories she's working on for this show last fall when she was workshopping them. Dean and I have heard her many times, and I will highly recommend this event. 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon. And then 8 days after that, Dean and I are going to give a workshop here to anyone who would like. It'll be about an hour and a half introduction. How do you tell a personal story so that people really want to listen to it? 2 events coming up.
Good morning, David Mayer, and I'm here this morning to talk to you about Operation Friendship. Operation Friendship is another organization that the church has supported ever since we started over 50 years ago. So there's a lot of new people here that might not know anything about Operation Friendship. As I say, we started working with them over 50 years ago, and we were very instrumental in getting them started. For many years, we supported a lunch program that they have downtown, or had downtown. They had a dining room, and various groups would volunteer to provide lunch, and Southminster Steinhauer, for many of those years, also did a lunch. And once a month, we gathered in the kitchen here, and I was the leader for a number of years, and before me, it was Jean Hamilton. And before that, we used to make casseroles at home and bring them in, but the government and health regulations said you can't do that anymore. You've got to have a full regulated kitchen. So we had a full regulated kitchen, and so we were able to do that. But the dining room has closed down, and that's not happening anymore. But besides the lunch program, Operation Friendship is very instrumental in providing housing for seniors, mainly in the downtown area. And a number of years ago, they started doing a fundraiser to purchase or build a new building, and this building is going to be for end-of-life people, more or less a hospice. And the fundraising was going along very well, and unfortunately, until COVID hit us back in 2020, so everything stopped because people couldn't gather in large gatherings like that nature. Well, good news is we hope COVID is behind us, so they're proceeding, and their next gala fundraiser dinner is going to be at the end of May. We have purchased tickets for this gala fundraising dinner over the years. We've had as many as 3 tables of 8 people. So do the math, that's 24 people. We've had as few as only 1 table. But anyway, you've probably seen in the Morning Messenger for the last few weeks an announcement about this lunch dinner that's coming up. I'm not sure if it's still on the Morning Messenger. I think it disappeared briefly. Maybe we'll get it put back on there. Anyway, I'm going to be purchasing the tickets, and if anybody is interested in joining us and occupying one of these tables, come and see me at the grocery card table. I'm not there this morning, Jean is, but I'll be floating around the church after the service, and next week I'll be sitting at the table again, so you can come and talk to me. The tickets are $100. It's a little more expensive than it was in the past, but we've also progressed 4 or 5 years, and I think they're trying to catch up in their fundraising. So if you're interested in joining us for, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. It's at the end of May. I believe it's Monday, May the 27th. So there you go. If you're interested, come and talk to me. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And one more announcement. And it's for Art and Sandra Hildebrand. It's their 60th wedding anniversary. Woohoo! And guess what? They're inviting us for cake and sweets after the service. So, yay! Please stay. They're going to treat us to some sweets and treats and cake that you can enjoy along with your coffee. Okay? And that's right afterwards. So please stay a while. And now we'll start with our readings from Blair.
Good morning. This morning I'll be reading an excerpt from the diary of Franz Kafka. When Franz Kafka died of tuberculosis at the age of 41, he left 3 unfinished novels and all of his papers and diaries to his friend Max Brod, with instructions that they be burned. Brod edited and published almost all of the material. Though the novels are difficult and explore dark and depressive themes, the diaries contained occasional flashes of appealing hope and optimism. This is one excerpt from his diaries. If we knew we were on the right road, having to leave, it would mean endless despair. But we are on a road that only leads to a second one, and then a third one, and so forth. And the real highway will not be sighted for a long, long time, perhaps never. So we drift in doubt, but also in an unbelievable, beautiful diversity. Thus, the accomplishment of hope remains an always unexpected miracle. But the compassion, the miracle remains forever possible. These are writings of a Jewish Bohemian writer of the early 20th century. May we find wisdom for our living.
Good morning. This wisdom reading is taken from, I'm sorry, I've lost my, an article entitled, I got it. Sorry. An article entitled Evolution, written by Greta Vosper. All through the long and swaying ride across the deep, the arguments with night and day, the final triumph over light, its transformation into tissue, life found its way. All through the long and gasping crawl across the sands, the crusts of fossiled, dying corpses, the final triumph over air, its transformations feeding tissue, life found its way. All through the dark and storied truths we've told ourselves, the tales of distant, angry gods, their final triumphs lost to truth, their transformation into goodness, we make our way. All through our reach around this blue and precious world, we've built with love, brought down with hate, our final triumph still unborn, our transformation into wholeness yet on its way. This is a poem of a contemporary thinker, poet, and friend. May we find wisdom for our living. I sing a song to the mountains,
I sing a song to the sea, valley and stream, flower and tree, I sing to you. I sing a song to the lion, I sing a song to the deer, birds of the air, life in the sea, I sing to you. Oh, what a wonder, oh, what a marvel, oh, how awesome you are. Oh, what a wonder, oh, what a marvel, oh, how awesome you are. I sing a song to community, I sing to millions who care, working for good, willing to share, I sing to you. Oh, what a wonder, oh, what a marvel, oh, how awesome you are. Oh, what a wonder, oh, what a marvel, oh, how awesome you are. I sing a song to compassion, I sing to kindness and peace, justice and truth, courage and grace. I sing to you. Oh, what a wonder! Oh, what a marvel! Oh, how awesome you are! Oh, what a wonder! Oh, what a marvel! Oh, how awesome you are! Oh, how awesome you are! Mastering the Forms by Hokusai. Hokusai, the great Japanese master printmaker, influenced the French Impressionists. His attitude and that artistic growth was continuous, and his best work was always ahead of him. These are forms of writing, signed, formerly Hokusai, now the painting crazy old man. Ever since the age of 6, I had a mania for drawing the forms of objects. Towards the age of 50, I published a very large number of drawings, but I am dissatisfied with everything which I produced before the age of 70. It was the age of 73 I nearly mastered the real nature and forms of birds, fish, and plants. Consequently, at the age 80, I shall have got to the bottom of things. At 100, I shall have attained a decidedly higher level which I cannot define. And at the age of 110, every dot, every line from my brush will be alive. I call on those who may live as long as I to see if I keep my word. These are the writings of a Japanese master painter. May we find wisdom for our living.
Each commitment that we make to live as we pray
can so easily in the frenzy be forgotten and lost. Keeping focused to true and strong, we will not give up or sway. Every moment's a chance for our complacency to be squashed. Let's strengthen our will to do what we intend for foe and friend. Let's give our heads and hearts to what we say. The courage to speak in truth, the patience to care with heart, the vision to see what's good in the world, the drive to make it better each day.
Sharing joys and bearing strains can be pledged at the start,
but convictions of our purpose call for more.
Friendship and community takes the work of heart to heart.
We might be the ones who make another spirit soar. Let's strengthen our will to do what we intend for foe and friend. Let's give our hands and hearts to what we say. The courage to speak in truth, the patience to care with heart, the vision to see what's good in the world, and the drive to make it better each day. It takes one moment for a better breath, one moment for a better world, one moment for a better way, to wisdom yet unheard. Let's strengthen our will to do what we intend for foe and friend. Let's give our hands and hearts to what we say. The courage to speak in truth, the patience to care with heart, the vision to see what's good in the world, and the drive to make it better each day. The drive to make it better each day.
This reading is an adaptation of the 72nd Psalm, a lullaby of hope. To you, next generation, life will be different for you. Our prisons of oppression, injustice, and hate will not be your prisons. Your mountains will rise clear in the morning. Your valleys will offer cozy comfort in the setting sun. You will be better equipped to resist the charlatans and sales pitches. You understand the downhearted and will not exploit the powerless or profit from people's desperation. Adversity will not grind you down, nor will difficulties dissolve your determination. They will only help you grow. May the peace you cultivate protect you, and the sea of calm you create support you. We can see it in you, children. Everyone can see it. You shall do better than us. You will not be bowed down by despair or bent by hate. You will be free to love, to care, to have compassion. You are precious. Because of you, the world will be changed. In these ancient and renewed words of hope, may we find wisdom for our living.
Micah Pollock, is he here? A real man. Micah, he's a pianist, besides a father. He's a pianist, composer, photographer, poet, wood carver, boulder, wall and tree climber, and a part of us here at SSUC. This is a poem from his 2023 collection of poetry entitled The Space Between the Poplar Boughs. A slow spring. The earth is reluctant to drink the sun's warmth. as memories of harsh winter snows cling on in desperation. But little by little, golden drops sink into her skin and loosen the dark soil, open her pores for new life to raise its joyful head. There are times when the sun is afraid to shine with his own light, when he would rather flee in shame. But little by little, she brings him flowers. They bring him warmth and smiles, courage and strength, and he sends them back to her. This is a gentle embrace. This is a patient, open space. These are the writings of a local poet and friend. May we find wisdom for our living.
When the darkness overwhelms us, to dim our sight and our mind, when all roads lead to confusion, and hope's impossible to find, free our hearts for loving this life so precious and so dear. Free our voice for singing the songs that overcome our fear. When in weary isolation we've lost our courage to care, when our captive spirits perish in the bondage of despair, when the ties are broken, we've lost our human soul, free our lives for serving to make the human family whole. Let the mountains ring with freedom, let the valleys sing with peace, let the rivers swell with justice, let our unity increase. May the sun's warm healing and the ocean's mighty roar bring the day of justice, when peace shall reign forevermore.
Friends of SSUC, our leading quote today comes from Barack Obama, who says this: "Hope is the thing inside us that insists, despite all the evidence to the contrary, that something better awaits us if we have the courage to reach for it and work for it and fight for it. So as I've been reflecting on that statement this week, it struck me that the sentence doesn't stop after the words, "something better awaits us." It does not read like this. Hope is the thing inside us that insists, despite all the evidence to the contrary, that something better awaits us. Period. End of sentence. End of story. Just keep hoping. Just keep hoping and things will get better. If only it was that easy. It reads this: hope is the thing inside us that insists, despite all the evidence to the contrary, that something better awaits us if we have the courage to reach for it, to work for it, and to fight for it. Nancy Steeves, the former minister here at SSUC, wrote a book. She called it Habits of the Heart, and in there she describes different spiritual practices. And she has a chapter called The Practice of Hope. She starts out her chapter by writing this: hope is hard. I was struck by that when I read it. Hope is hard. It's actually not what I expected her to say. I had expected her to say hope is important. Hope is necessary. Hope is essential. Hope is beautiful. Hope is hopeful. Hope is being spiritual. But not to start off that chapter with hope is hard. Just 3 little words. Hope is hard. But why is hope so hard? And what kind of hope might she be talking about? Well, one type of hope that is not necessarily hard is called passive hope. Passive hope is just hoping for the best. Just hoping for the best, but not necessarily playing a role to help that happen. Passive hope is really just about wishing that things would be better, that wishing things would be different, wishing that things would change, but then for the most part, sitting back and waiting for it to occur. Another word for it, sometimes people call it armchair hope. I know I'm guilty of that, as I'm sure many of us here are at times as well. But the opposite of passive hope is active hope. And active hope is about becoming active participants in bringing about what we hope for. It's about looking at what I or we can do to make our hope for a better future more likely. Even when a situation or an issue seems hopeless or out of control, there are always things and ways for us to influence the outcome for a better future. Just like Obama says in the second part of his quote, hope awaits something better if we have the courage to reach for it and work for it and fight for it. Joanna Macy, an author I'm sure some of you are familiar with, writes a book called Active Hope. And in this little video that we're really hoping is going to work is just a 2-minute excerpt from her book on this chapter. And here we go.
Active hope is not wishful thinking. Active hope is not waiting to be rescued by the Lone Ranger or some savior. Active hope is waking up to the beauty of life on whose behalf we can act. We belong to this world. The web of life is calling us forth at this time. We've come a long way and we're here to play our part. With active hope, we realize that there are adventures in store, strengths to discover, comrades to link arms with. Active hope is a readiness to engage. Active hope is a readiness to discover the strengths in ourselves and in others. A readiness to discover the reasons for hope and the occasions for love. A readiness to discover the size and strength of our hearts, our quickness of mind, our steadiness of purpose, our own authority, our love for life, the liveliness of our curiosity, the unsuspected deep well of patience and diligence, the keenness of our senses, and our capacity to lead. None of these can be discovered in an armchair or without risk.
So yes, hope is hard. But it's also, as Macy says, an adventure. And we are not alone in our hope. We have comrades that we can link arms with. Hope takes the long view, though. It's far-sighted. And sometimes the story of hope takes many generations, and we may never see the final picture. But the web of life is calling each of us to hope. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's risky. But it's about love. And it's about our love of life. We can be thankful for the many mentors we have that have showed us what active hope looks like. The Gandhis, the Rosa Parks, the Martin Luther Kings, the Abrahams and Sarahs, the Nancys, the Chris's, the Joanna Macys, the Delwyn Freens, and even our own friends, neighbors, and family members who live out daily active lives of hope. The Hebrew scriptures from the Christian tradition talk a lot about hope. This verse is quite well known from Hebrews 11, verse 1. It says, "Faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen." I'll read it again. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. May we have faith in the hope that resides deep within our hearts. Faith in a hope that asserts that there is a better way for our world to be. And faith that when we live out our hope in an active manner, the world will be changed.
Please join Marilyn and I as we read Strengthening Our Intentions. We open to the sacredness at the heart of all and to deep love and connection
that unites us all.
May we be faithful to the vision of building a better world, that there be daily bread to nourish all hunger, that we engage in the work of reconciling our past, forgiving ourselves and others, and experiencing healing in our pursuit of love and justice for all people. May we embrace the support of community in hard times, for the strength to meet each moment, and the wisdom to walk in the light of deep gratitude. For the light of love is with us, now and forever. May it be so.
We're coming to the close of our gathering. Time to move out into the world. Time to change our candle. But a candle is not blown out. Its flame does not disappear. It simply transforms, and that light moves elsewhere. In the same way as sacred lights ourselves, we leave this space to shine elsewhere. The hope that has been kindled anew today does not end here. We take it with us. So wherever you find yourself this week, may you be reminded to live and persevere in hope. Blessings on each of you.
Wish you the blessing of hope to sustain you, friends to support you, challenge to stir you, songs to empower you, peace to refresh you, tears to release you, laughter to heal you, love to nurture your soul. We wish you the blessing of hope to sustain you, challenge to support you, challenge to stir you, songs to empower you,